the Fantasy News Show from the Bottled Imp. My name is Ken Boyter, and this is your weekly fix of fantasy news. On this week's show, Magic comes to D&D, the new Guinness World Record for laying tiles has been set, and Alice is back, and this time it's whimsical. But first we start with the nominees for the Dice Tower Gaming Awards 2015. They've just been announced. There are 14 different categories, and they all celebrate, the whole point of the awards is celebrating board and card games. And there's 70 people worldwide that vote for these nominations. And it's good to see that there are a fair few fantasy games up there in each category. For the best game of the year, there's quite a good contenders. We've got Blood Rage from Cool Mini or Not. We've got Elysium from Space Cowboys. Seven Wonders Duel from Repos. Hey, the first mistake. There we go. Repos Productions. And Mysterium from, and I don't know how to pronounce this anyway, Leadbelid. What a great name. All of which, yeah, as I say, they're up for the best game of the year. The winners in each category will be announced live at Dice Tower Con in July, and that happens in America. And you can visit their website, which is dicetower.com, for further details and a list of the full nominations in each category. Magic the Gathering enters the realm of Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, it's happened. Wizards of the Coast have released a supplement that will allow D&D players to mount a campaign all set in the Magic the Gathering plane of Zendikar. I think that's how you pronounce it. And that's just, as I say, it's one of the planes of many that are in the Magic the Gathering universe. And it's the first time their company has allowed their two games to cross over like this. The designer of the campaign, James Watt, has said that it just lets fans of the Zendikar universe be fully realised and lets them experience it fully realised. And the book is a guide, obviously, with all the creatures in the for the campaign, all the characters that you will need to actually play. And it also nicely promotes their other book, which is called The Art of Magic, The Gathering, Zendikar. So it's actually, a sort of companion piece, I guess, for that book as well. So if you like Magic the Gathering and you like Dungeons and Dragons, then this is your dreams come true. A new Guinness World Record has been set for the number of tiles used in a Carcassonne game. Yes, this is actually a thing. The aim of the game, for those of you that don't know of Carcassonne, is you lay tiles down and you have to you're creating a medieval landscape. And it's all based or inspired by the French town of Carcassonne. And what you have to do is you have to kind of match each tile into the previous one or others that are on the actual board. And normally there's probably, 50 tiles, probably 60 tiles. Then you've got all the expansions. So I guess if you had all the expansions, you could probably get up to 300 tiles, maybe 400. Well, this one actually had a total of 10,007 tiles. 10,000. That's crazy talk. And it happened in March, and it happened at the GothCon in Sweden. And the actual size of the grid, it was spread out over 108 foot by 92 feet. That is crazy. That is one long game of Carcassonne. Obviously, I guess records are there to be broken. So you only need 10,008 tiles to beat that if you wish so. JRR Tolkien has got a Middle-earth map that has been bought by Oxford Bodleian Library, but this one has actually been annotated by the author himself. Now, the map has corrections and additions when he was kind of, getting it ready for print, and there was an illustrator involved, and he was writing little notes on it to add to it so the illustrator could, update the actual finished map for the book. And it was actually the map was previously owned by the illustrator, which was Pauline Baines, and she was the one who produced this first illustrative map for the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And it had been unseen for decades, apparently, until last October, where it was put on sale in a bookshop for £60,000, which is quite a lot of money. But I guess it's a one-off unique object. And on there you can see where it has, the author instructs the illustrator about really important places and cities such as Hoppenton, which is obviously the home of Bilbo and Frodo Baggins. And the map was bought for close to the asking price, and it will become part of the Tolkien archive, and it could, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it will be actually on display for the general public soon. Dreams from the Witch House, Female Voices of Lovecraftian Horror from Dark Region Press is out now. And it's edited by Lynn Jemek and features over 7 female authors with colour illustrations throughout the book by Danielle Serra. Now, I like the idea of this book because obviously it's all coming from a female point of view, and it's a nice twist on the H.P. Lovecraft themes and inspiration, which is obviously a well-worn subject matter, because it's out of copyright now. Pretty much anybody can delve in there and write their own stories. So it'd be good to hear female viewpoints on that, because I think they've obviously got a different spin on horror and on fantasy. The book is available both as an ebook and a paperback, and they're also planning a deluxe signed hardcover to be released. They haven't put a date on that yet. You can visit their website, which is darkregions.com, and all of the links will be in the description of this episode. Alice Through the Looking Glass is gearing up for their 27th of May cinematic release. It's produced by Disney, and it's got Tim Burton involved. He's not directing it, but he is involved. He's one of the producers. It stars Anne Hathaway, Johnny Depp, Helen Bonham Carter, naturally, and of course it has a whole impressive large cast of really, really good actors, very good comedy actors, and obviously more straight actors as well. And also the late great Alan Rickman is voicing the Blue Caterpillar. Now, what I didn't realise, I was looking into this, that the actual novel was published in 1871. I did know it's by Lewis Carroll. But 1871, that just seems such a long time ago now, doesn't it? It's crazy to think that a story still has appeal for modern audiences. And that's fantastic, as does the original, the first book, which was Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. This is the sequel to it. And Alice enters a fantastical world again, and this time she's time travelling to save the Mad Hatter. There are a couple of trailers online already, and it does look visually stunning, as you would imagine. It does look very Tim Burton. It follows the same visual cues and the same sense of humour. Let's just hope that the story's good and that they deliver a good film as opposed to just getting wowed by all the special effects. You can find out more if you visit movies.disney.co.uk. Kickstarter news. Darklight Interactive are seeking funding for their Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition role-playing campaign. The Coming Dark, Chapter 1, is the first in a 3-part campaign using the Open Gaming license, from which I gather, now I've just started to look into the huge world of role-playing games, I gather that this open gaming license allows anybody to write their own campaigns and then put them into the Dungeons & Dragons world. So you use their system, but you are the author of a particular campaign. So which I think is a really cool idea because it opens up to the whole community. So obviously this one is using the 5th edition set of Dungeons & Dragons rules. David Flaw is the creator and mastermind, and he's looking for funding to pay for the artwork and for the printing of the actual campaign book as well. They've got pictures of the artwork that they've got so far. It does look really beautifully done and beautifully designed. I guess ultimately you could just do it on a Word document but they've put production values into this. That's why they're looking for money. Both digital and printed versions will be available if funded, and you'll be able to buy them from the Drive-Thru RPG website. They have previously published some RPGs, so they do have a track record. It's nearly funded, it's very close, and it finishes on the 26th of May. 13th Age coins and icon tokens are specially designed coins for the 13th Age RPG campaigns as well as other tabletop games. These are made by Campaign Coins and they're based in Australia. But fear not, if you live in other countries, there seems to be this arrangement now where they get they get items made in the countries, so the shipping is reduced. So, for example, if you live in the EU, they're going to be manufactured in the EU, so all the shipping costs are lower. Equally, if you live in Australia, well, they're based in Australia anyway. Plus, America, they're going to be fulfilled in America, so again, the shipping is low cost. And I think that's very important, because obviously the product might be relatively cheap, but then obviously if you live miles and miles and miles away, the shipping could be very, very expensive. Now, 13th Age is an RPG which is designed by Rob Henso and Jonathan Tweet, who have both worked on previous editions of Dungeons & Dragons, so they know what they're doing. They're very adept at these RPGs. The Metal Dwarvian coin set is designed by Australian artist Drew Morrow and is available in 3 different sizes. The icon tokens are redesigned. They've taken them straight from the 13th Age book, and so they look very, very like what you see in the book, basically, so they're imitating that, obviously. And both these coins and tokens, they do look stunning, they do look really nice. Now, I've never played 13th Age, so I'm tempted that you could just use them in other tabletop games and even RPG games as well. They're that beautiful. There are various stretch goals and add-ons as well. It has been funded and it finishes on the 28th of May. Saltlands from Antler Games is a survival semi-co-op board game that's set in a dystopian world plagued by drought. Sounds a little bit like Mad Max. It looks like Mad Max, which is not necessarily a bad thing at all. And also Borderlands, that video game series, which I really, really love. It plays 1 to 8 players, and you are fleeing from invading raiders. You have to leave your desert home, basically. And although it's co-op, it's semi-co-op, really, because there's an element of betrayal. You can betray your fellow players. There's loot to search for. There's cool vehicles that you can upgrade and drive. And there's 13 terrain tiles, and that's actually how the board works out. And I'm assuming that changes each time, or it might even change during the game. So that's quite a nice mechanic. There's lots of adventure cards as well, and there's even 36 little miniatures in there to boot. They also have an expansion that you can pledge for as well, and a collector's edition. They're both available. Plus, they've got lots of stretch goals, and they have lots of details about how the game plays as well, and lots of images on there, so you should get a good feel of the game. The artwork does look stunning. It does look a lot of fun. It's already funded, and it finishes on the 30th of May. The Bottled Imp news. The Legends of Grime Ironblood has gone to the printers. Yes, people might know I've written a book, and I did have to pull an all-nighter, I will tell you that now, to get all the artwork ready for the printers, and it's gone off today, and so I'm very happy about that. I've been working on this book for about 3 or 4 years, and a good friend of mine, Richard Narn, who does do the Bottled Imp illustrations, he's a fantastic illustrator. He very kindly did the illustrations for this book, and he has done a stellar job. I've typeset it all, we had to design the cover and everything like that, and we finally did it. I'm so relieved that it's now gone to the printers. If all goes to plan, it will actually be available at the UK Games Expo. That's where we're hoping to launch it, and that's from the 3rd to the 5th of June, and that's at the NEC in Birmingham. And hopefully it will sell out, but we will hopefully continue to sell the book as well. I haven't quite worked out how I'm going to do this, probably via the website, but we will keep you updated. And remember, we do have our own website, which is thebottledimp.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter, so please leave comments. We love reading and hearing what you say. We do reply, which is, becoming increasingly harder because we're getting more and more comments, which is fantastic. We will do our utmost to chat to you and interact with you. And obviously, remember, keep things unreal. That's the best way to live, huh? Who wants to live in reality? Until next time, thanks for watching.